Good morning, guys. I've got a little problem here. I was doing a little digging in the woods, as you can see. I'm trying to make part of a trail, and we had some boulders. You can see the rock marks on here. I was pulling out some big size rocks, and I think what happened is that when I was swinging left and right, you see some of these marks across here? I mean, there was rocks, and I caught a hold of this, apparently. I guess you call it the boom lock. It's gone, and I got out the metal detector. I can't find it, but this is annoying. This is 15 years old anyway. I don't remember how long now. It's not as old as the tractor. I bought that in 2000, and it's really handy, really strong. 2,300 pound force. It's a New Holland 757. It's the frame mount model. So it uses the tractor hydraulics, and then it mounts up front. And it's a quick hitch. It's got 2 pins, 2 hoses. That's it. And it's great. But anyways, this thing settled down, and that's how I caught it, that's missing. The pin must have fallen out. And that piece must have wallowed out, fell off in there. So I want to make one. So let me pull this up and show you what I want to do with it. This is supposed to be up here. Give me a little more access, I'll swing it over here. But see, it's also got a swing lock that I keep in here. It's just a pin to lock that boom if I want to. So, I know it's not a New Holland color. It's the old John Deere green. I had a John Deere cab accessories that I got at an auction. $1 a box. Stuff was great. So this is must be 1/8 inch steel. It's not quite 3/16. It's pretty heavy though. It's heavy. Well, I was wondering if this might work. And all it was, as I recall, it's fatter on this end and it went down, so it's kind of oval shaped. And what happened is this had a pin in it, I think like a cinch pin when you flip over, and it went on and it dropped down, and when you want to lock it, you just swing it up, push it over, and it clicks on there. Of course, this sits back flush like that, and then this sits on, and then you just push the boom and it goes down 1/4 inch and locks, and it doesn't fall off this pin. And so I want to make that. And I was thinking that I don't have hole saws this size. I don't have a plasma cutter. Alright, I just cut this out just roughly. I don't know, it can be larger, it can be smaller. But this is 1 5/8, and this is 1 1/4 that we would need. That would allow it to wiggle a little bit. The size is this 1.5 inches, this 1 1/8. So it needs to swivel. So I just remember I could stay right up on top, pull the boom up, and I could tap that and it'd fall down, and then I could go ahead and use the boom on it. But this is pretty important when you're locking it on a trailer, taking it to the job. You can't have, moving parts. It can't settle down. It's got to be locked down. And so I got to have this thing working. I got a job coming up. I got to take this, and at home, I guess I can keep pulling the boom up. So let's see if this will work. See the paint chipped off right here. This used to swing in and drop and stay right down in here, and it wouldn't interfere with anything because this whole thing moves across and it'll be back here. So I think that's pretty good. The only thing I know is I got to extend the length about 1/4 inch. That way it gives it a little bit of play to lock it on there, and or make this hole a little bit oblong. And so now I want to transfer our marks onto this thing, if this is a piece of steel I want to use. I've got other stuff. I got 55-gallon barrels of cut off stuff. I have real thick stuff that I don't know if it's necessary. This boom, as long as you're not pushing out on it hydraulically, it's just the weight of the boom. So I think this will be sufficient, and we might even be able to keep this on there for extra strength and just let it drop like that, I don't see the need to remove it. So this way I'd be just cutting 2 holes and then just probably lopping off the end of it because we don't want it that long. Probably still won't hurt anything. But I don't want anything out past this surface. Reason? I don't know. Something getting pinched in there, probably like another rock. So let's figure out how we're going to cut this. Alright, I got out the jaw horse. It might be easier to hold this. I put 1 dot on this. And that should line up pretty good right there. I don't have a drill bit. I think I mentioned that. But I don't have a drill bit that large. So what I'm going to try to do is use one of these bits and get it as large as I can, and then I might just use a you know, like a like a deburring tool to round that out a little bit. I got different bits here. These are cheap ones. I think these are Harbor Freights. Let's see, HSS. So I thought one of them was a Vermont. This one is an Irwin. This one might be nice and sharp. I like Irwin's pretty good. And this one, I thought I had 2 really good ones, but this is an old one. Let me see if this thing's sharp enough to do it. Once I get the hole started, if this jaw horse will hold, I'm going to put a lot of pressure on it. Maybe I ought to get some cutting oil. It's going in nice. Let me grab a little cutting oil. Or any kind of oil will work. I might even use some, what's quick and handy is a little bit of 3-in-1 oil. But just a little bit of lubricant might save my bit a little longer. I think these bits are like $9 for 2 of them when they're on special. What I like about these, obviously the step bits, is you just keep on going with them and they don't break. They dull, but they don't break. Go around that. And sometimes put it on a bit. So that's what I like, is you just keep right on it going. Now that this end is sharp, maybe I'll just go ahead and change out and put the dull one in. I don't know if I can sharpen that well, maybe. I went up about 2 sizes. This isn't the right drill for it, but this will work. I got a Makita gear drive, slow one. I think it's a 600 speed or something, but if that catches, it'll throw you. This thing won't, it'll stall. Like that. Now we're up to about a 1/2 inch. So it's working. Dawson's over there doing a project. You gotta go check out his channel. He's got a cool idea. Yeah, this is working pretty good. And like I said, that bit's like brand new. I don't want to wear that out. I just soon beat up on this one. A little more lube on there. We're up to about 5/8 or not quite 3/4. I got a small drill press I could use, but it's got a bunch of stuff in front of it. I don't feel like moving it. Remember, I take most of my business on the road with me, so I'm moving tools a lot, and it's annoying. I actually took the drill press to a job and I built a 2-story deck, then a landing and a double set of stairs, and went over top of a fence down into the next property. And I used the drill press to drill out, I don't know, 150 spindles, just so they wouldn't split when I attached them, you know. Probably time to put the new bit in there, or the large one in there. I used this one on something, but this is that Harbor Freight one. See if it'll drill. See how big of chunks it pulls out? That's why I like these step bits, but I don't know, for a real good set, they're a lot of money. Looks like we're up to about 1 inch now. And we gotta go 1 5/8. I think, what's this top one? If you can read it, 1 3/8. So this bit will definitely work for the smaller hole. See him? He's over there doing a project. Check out his channel. He should upload it here in a couple of days. He asked me for some used materials, and he's trying to be on a budget, so I gave him some used building materials for his project. And he actually used the tractor and the forks for it, for the bucket, and that's what I noticed. This backhoe had lowered down in the driveway, and I said, uh-oh, we lost this bar. It's working great, but sure wish the bit was larger yet. I don't want to hit my jaw of my horse, so I can go down another 1/2 inch. And the drill's getting a little warm. Takes a lot of torque drilling them. If I used a cutting torch, I've blown holes in things before, but it's so hard to make it look decent. I kind of want this to look decent if I can. And still got a 1/2 inch. Alright, I'm through on that one. And like I said, I want to offset it. I want to move it over about a 1/4 inch, so I probably should finish this hole before I know where that hole's going to be. If I do center to center, it may be off just a whisker. But I think we are, looking straight down, we're 1 3/8. So it's a shame that's not 1 5/8. So now I got to come up with something to wallow that hole out larger. Let me go see if I got a deburr or something for it. Alright, I used the same thing, and I just did what you shouldn't do, is tilt it, and it did a pretty good job. I mean, it's not beautiful, but on this side it's pretty much round. I think I'll just clean it up a little. That's why I want to clamp it. And then of course you probably should have gloves on. I always have glasses on. Wish I didn't, but okay. So to get the burr off this, take a file or just do something like that. Like I said, there's not a lot of pressure on this. I would imagine if I was on the unit and I took the boom and kept pushing out, I could, maybe I could bend this. I think it's got like 2,300 pounds of force, and this steel on edge pushing. Takes a lot to stretch it. All right, it looks like it's settled already. You see that, guys? I can see a little shiny part of the cylinder. So there's got to be a little leak on it somewhere to let the hydraulics down, but yeah, it fits. I guess the only problem I see with having this side guard on there, which is not necessary, I was just going to leave it for strength because it'll help keep this from flexing, is putting a pin in it. But I do have bolts. I guess it's only so this pin doesn't slide out. It could be a bolt. And looking down in here, I don't see why I couldn't just use a bolt on it. So that works, but this is how it goes, guys. You measure from here to here all the way up, let it down just a whisker, because if it's up all the way and I put this on and I drive, it's a good chance this will shake or whatever and unhook. So if it's coming down just a whisker, it's going to catch and hold. And now we need to mark from either the center to center, or I bring it up all the way, do another grease mark on it, and just go, which might be a more accurate. And I don't know, it's probably, we went and had lunch and we goofed around, and I went over to Dawson's project to see what he's doing over there. And so I would say an hour, hour and a half's gone by anyway. And so this settled probably, it looks like a ½ an inch. Let me raise this back up and see what we got. Let's see how much it settled here. Oh, it settled more than a ½ inch. Alright, so that's why I need this on there. If you don't pay attention and you're monkeying around with the loader, whatever, this will settle down. So set this on. Now I can bring this up and I'll make a grease mark. And this has a little lip on it. Not very much. I probably would have done it the same size as this and had the pin smaller, and then it definitely can't fall off. So if I drill that in the center and make that size, it'll fit on, but it'll fall off. So we need to move it this side, probably about 1/4. And so if I just let that settle down just a little, it would line up there. So I think if we move this center approximately 1/4 over, we'll have it. Let's see what we got. We are 1 inch. I'm going to go a little further and then flip sides. I am. Looks like 1 1 1/8 here. 1 1/16. We'll flip it over. Clean it up on the other side. See these burrs sticking out? And then see what we got. We are 1 almost 1/8, and we got to go 1 1/4. Yeah, I got one more notch on my bit to do. I just don't want to get carried away here after all this. There's 1 1/8, so we're almost there, guys. Yay, right? Boy, that's almost there. Just going to clean it up here and see if it fits. We'll test it out. I would say a jaw horse would work good for welding, holding projects. They got a rubber pad. I think if they had an insert, it would be nice. Clean that burr up like that. Let's test this thing out. See if it fits. There, I wiped the junk off it, but you see we didn't have the right size bit, so I leaned that other one around, which isn't going to hurt a thing, but this hole is much nicer. I want to mount it this direction. Check that out. Then we just cut off this excess and round it. And then when this comes off, you just pull the boom up that little bit. You see right now, as it starts relaxing or you push it out, you can't pull it off in there because it's got that lip. And so you pull the boom up and then you wiggle this and it drops. And it hangs out down in here, and it's got paint wore off right here, so I don't recall the original shape, but it's something like this, and it come up and it was roughly like that, like a kidney, and that way it's down out of the way. I don't think it should stick out beyond this. Probably won't matter, but when this boom comes up, it could pinch a piece of rock or stick in there or something, so if it was down out of the way. So I think what I should do, knowing that this fits, we could test and see if it works. And I gotta start the tractor back up, but just let your boom down. See that? Now, you can't pull that off in there. Looks like that's a win, guys. I'll probably put a bolt up through there. Might be room for one of them little cinch pins. I could try it. Not that important, just anything to hold that. I'll probably use a bolt so I know it stays on this time. And then I just take the boom up, and this of course will stay in there flat, and then you just go like this, and it drops down. So what I want to do now is to have this out of the way. I can measure that. It's we got to keep enough material that's got some strength. So I would like it to come out like this. So there's plenty of room for this to swivel down, but it's hitting here. So I think that's where this kidney shape comes. So if it hits here, I probably got to come up like this, and this is sticking out, looks like a full inch, you know, so I don't want to be too close to that hole. So if I come in and I do something even up in this angle, because this is going to come closer, come up like this. Dawson come over and borrowed my grinder, battery powered grinder, and he put some cutoff discs in it. I can use that disc, he's got it over there, he's cutting some metal. And I can do something like this, and that gives it plenty of room there. And then maybe make this better looking, I'll come around like this and make this a circle, and then I'll finish by coming up and out, and instead of leaving this sharp, I'll come on an angle, and then nothing here. I might nip that off, but it's going to be up here out of the way. I think that's going to work. Let me get the cutoff over here if he's not using it. See if we can get this thing cleaned up. I think he's making a YouTube video. I hear somebody talking. He's the only one over there. Alright, I had to go borrow my tool back from Dawson. He was cutting some aluminum over there. And I got this little mark. I'm going to try, see if this works. Oh, looks like he ran his battery down. There we go. I want to get all the burrs off this so nobody cuts their hands when they do it. Sounds like the battery's almost run down. Now we'll make this as round as we can. Alright, I trimmed that out a little more. Let's see how that's going to do. I like that. Let's see if it goes down out of the way just by doing that. And the pin is going to keep it in, so check it out. It's out of the way now. And this just comes down and just hangs out here. I like that. So now let's get a pin or a bolt to hold this on. A pin would be great if it fits. This is, what was it, 1 5/8. So let's see what we got. We got to reline them holes back up. And I'll get a little punch for that. Let's see what the other side is. This side is flush, so there's no pin. And so, yeah, we definitely need that bolt in there or something. And we got the squirrel here. Are you out here helping? You out here helping me or Dawson? Check him out. I know it. You ready for a snack? Yeah? The real lovable kitty. So let me see if I got any of that paint. I think I got from the snowblower job there, I had a little bit of open paint left, and I think I had a spray can of sail blue. I think that was at Lowe's, and I think it's pretty close to New Holland color, but you can see how much this is faded. Alright, I got, see how close they are? I had this for a project. I think it's sail blue, is it? Sail blue, and I think that was like at Lowe's. I got some original, I don't know how old this is, but New Holland blue. And I got a gallon, I don't know how much is in it, probably a quart. But I don't want to use much enamel because it takes forever to dry. This stuff's a little faster. And like I said, this is, I just don't want the John Deere green on there. Let's see if I can get this working. No cap. Here we go with that. And then this may not start again either. I always have that great luck. There's no starter on it. Yeah, there we go. That looks like New Holland blue to me, close enough. And I don't care if I get it all over. What I want to do is get it put on. Check that out. And then, while I'm hunting up a bolt hardware, we'll get that John Deere green missing, you know. And it's a pretty important part, this little pin. And I would imagine if our local New Holland dealer even had one, which why would they stock a backhoe pin, you know? A couple runs, I could care less. I just don't want the green on there. I get into the dirt, as you can tell. That paint will be wore off anyway. But if they had that original part, I bet it'd be like 40 bucks or something or more. Or if I got to order it, I'll make one, you know. Why not? That should be plenty strong. Let me hunt up a pin or something to put in that. Okay, I had to run a drill bit up through that to clean this up. Got little metal filings on there. Not going to hurt anything on the outside. Just don't want them in at the inside of your pin or anything, but this won't hurt anything. I got pressure washed, the tractor's getting pretty filthy anyway. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and put this on. The paint's all sticky, but at least it's not green. And I got this little pin that's kind of hooked up, so I run this in the grinder. It'd be nice if I can go in from the top, but I don't think so. Let's see, if I swivel it around farther and then bring it back, will it work? I don't know. It'd be nice if I go in from the top. And then, otherwise it can go up from the bottom. Fit. Good. And then this snaps on, there you go. Yeah, I want it from the top so it can swivel down. So let me see what I can do with that. Pull this back out of here. Maybe I can do it that way. Follow it on around, there we go. That's pretty simple, guys. So here we go, we got, I think it's a fix. Now this pin can't pop up out of there either without obviously a lock or something, whatever happened before. But this looks like a fix. Let's pick up the boom and see what we got. Leave that at idle. So we bring that all the way up, bring that up, pop it on, push the boom down, and then this pin can't lift off, see there? I like that. This looks like it's a wrap, guys. Seems like a lot of my videos run long when I'm trying to explain some of them. I probably ought to do a video or two with no sound, do some hyperlapse or something, and but I think that looks halfway decent. I mean, it's not the factory piece. It cost me nothing. I didn't buy anything. Had the stuff. And it's been off, and I just don't like this settling down. So now I can park this, we can unhook it, whatever, and it doesn't drop. Okay, this looks like it's going to work great. This will be a wrap. I like that the pin won't fall out. I like that I used a John Deere part for it, and I had some paint, didn't buy anything, and yeah, follow along, put a comment down there, and remember to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.